about Holmat?
Seeing all your friends.
Yeah, I mean, it's the one time a year where everyone's really festive. You get to see all your friends. It's probably our favorite con of the year. Just because all of our friends come, the panels are really good, the after hours are really good.
Right, and it's not like a, you don't get the vibe that it's the like the cash grab convention.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, most of the people dress up here. It's a huge ratio of people who are dressed up compared to people who aren't. And like you said, it's the festive. It's like the whole.
It's the cosplay.
It's the atmosphere
Yeah.
of it. It's a lot more fun. It's not like business oriented. It doesn't feel like it's a business.
I think just being with everyone and seeing everyone's festive costumes is probably the best.
Yeah, it's my first year here, so it's just really interesting to see everyone's festive take. And I'm not used to cons having things go so late and like so many things all the time. I didn't sleep very much last night. It's been too fun to sleep.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. Like I love seeing how people mix like the original designs for the cosplays with the festive ones. That was really exciting. I was kind of terrified about that because I was like, I don't know what to do. But it's really cool. And yeah, the events are also really fun. I like staying up a little bit later than usual for those.
Basically the same, watching everybody make their versions of a holiday costume, whether the games have something or the anime or just their own rendition. And then I meet up a lot of friends I only see at cons. So that's kind of my favorite part.
The people, the alcohol, that's all I got. It's an excuse for me to drink 3 days in a row and no one will judge me. Because they're all doing it too.
She stole my answer.
The best thing about Holmat, just the festive spirit. Everyone's feeling so good, so happy.
I think Holmat just has probably one of the better atmospheres of all of the Florida conventions. Just kind of like the people who come kind of make it their priority con, so I kind of get to see everybody.
Excellent.
Best thing about Holmat? I just really like the themed cosplays. I think they're all really enjoyable to see. It's really different.
Yeah, I really think Holiday Matsuri is one of those cons where everything is holiday. Like people go out of their way to do holiday themed stuff, and you don't see that very often at all.
I don't have the time to do it, but I love seeing
Yeah,
it.
exactly. That's a good point.
The community. This community is probably the best in Florida. Like just Orlando cons in general have the nicest, sweetest people of all. Plus the most bomb cosplays. So like
Also the holiday versions of the cosplays.
Yes. They're sexy, they're cute, and they're fun.
Parties. The parties at late night.
The parties.
The party. What about you?
The parties. Staff does a really good job of putting on events and running their guests here.
I like Christmas.
This is my first year, so I haven't really experienced it much besides being out here in this coat.
Gotcha. What do you think of it so far?
I like it a lot.
Something you're gonna come back to?
Oh, yeah, every year.
Fantastic. Over your entire career, how much do you think you've spent on cosplay?
Oh no! Well, I guess alone for the three of us on Sunday, we're probably about $1,000 in.
Yeah, but that was a very specific. I mean, we had a plan to enter the contest, so you know you gotta kind of not cut corners.
You can do it on the cheap. If you really want to stay true to character and you really want to nail it, it's when you're going to start spending some money because then fabric that's pretty close, it needs to be perfect, or you have to cut something again because you cut it wrong. So it's really how much of a perfectionist you are and how true you want to stay to the source material. So you get either way.
Lord. Oh, Lord.
Well, this route, we actually make our stuff, but for this route, we went store bought because it was very simple.
Yeah.
But usually, yeah, we make everything, and I'd say we probably spend $300-400.
Yesterday, I made a League of Legends cosplay.
Yeah.
That one cost me at least a good maybe $1,000. I put at least $1,000 into it. Yeah. With all of the fur, the bow, the hooves, everything. I mean everything.
I'd say like $750.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I can put a number on that. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Probably thousands.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Oh man.
I don't even want to think about that.
Mine's been relatively short, but I tend to overbuy supplies, so it's been, I mean, multiple hundreds of dollars.
I am for sure at several thousand.
But is it worth it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Over you guys' cosplay career, how much money do you think you guys have put into cosplay?
I'm gonna go with the upper on 20K.
That's not a number I like to think about very often, so I'm going to plead the fifth on this question.
Yeah, I was like in a good mood before you asked me that. Probably like, God, at least 50K.
I refuse to answer that question.
Me, I've only been cosplaying for 2 years, has probably put in, including cosplays and just like hotels and transportation and all, I think I've spent well over $3,000.
A lot.
I've been doing this for 4 years, and I think closer to 10 grand, yeah.
How much money do you think you put into cosplay?
Well, if I buy a cosplay, the cosplay is roughly going to be like $70. Then you like multiply that by like 50 for all the cosplays. I think like over 50 grand.
A 54 convertible to light blue. I'll wait up for you, dear Santa baby. So hurry down the chimney tonight.
So, what do your parents think about you guys being huge nerds?
Man, you just really brought down this mood, man.
I like the last interview guy. My parents have they have 2 of my cosplay prints hanging up in their house. I guess they don't exactly hate it. They wish I was going back to grad school, but I tell them I'll get there. So
Don't really. They like to pretend I don't do this. I'm gonna go in.
My mom shares all my pictures on Facebook. My dad wasn't really into it. For a while, they were telling me I should stop doing it, and then I started making money off of it, and they were like, "That's okay, I guess."
Well, my parents are complete nerds, so they love it.
My dad's really proud of all of my like cosplay stuff. So is my mom, like just of like a lot of the stuff that I've made and stuff. Also a little bit concerned, but mostly proud, I like to think.
Well, I'm also a model on the side, so my parents seem to be okay with it, even if they are Asian.
My mom just wants me to look good. She doesn't care.
That's a true mom.
I had a scene face. My parents are glad that I look slightly normal.
My parents are very accepting, and I'm super, super grateful for that. Because it's true, I hear a lot of my friends, you know, their parents don't accept them for being a nerd and cosplaying, and my parents are like, hey, you look cute, go do it. So I think that I have really grateful parents that really enjoy my hobbies.
I have to tell my mom and dad that I'm just going to a big costume party.
Yeah, right.
Because they just don't understand it.
I'm like, hey, face gotta die. Yeah, right.
I think for the most part the parents are okay with being nerds, but
Better than
I know
drugs.
for a fact my mom's a little concerned.
One time, last year, my mom asked me, she's like, hey, I don't talk to you that much. I want to know what you're into. I was like, you want to know what I'm into? Watch this show, Gurren Lagann. She watched it. It took her like a month, and she called me crying. She goes, what is this? And I was like, welcome.
Anime, not even once.
Not even once.
Better than drugs. I think my mom's happy.
Way better than drugs.
Might be more expensive, but
Possibly.
still better.
They're pretty supportive. They don't understand it. They're like sports people, so it's like that one's over there painting on herself again.
I told my parents it was just a phase and I'd get through it, so they would let me do it. And then I just never grew out of it, and they were like, okay, I guess she's like this now. First convention. My dad cosplays. My dad brought us to MegaCon 2012, and that's where it all started. That's where the death of me began. My dad disowned me, so I don't really have to say in this.
Well, okay, so with my parents, I've had a very awful self-esteem my whole life, and this kind of stuff actually improves it, and they see that in how my attitude's changed since I started cosplaying, so they actually really enjoy the fact that I can go and have nerd friends and have fun.
They were a little skeptical at first. Like, they were like, oh, this is super weird. Why are you doing this? But now they're like, oh, this is awesome. They're really accepting over it, and just the community itself is really accepting, so it's like pretty good.
My mom actually doesn't like she likes it. She doesn't really care. She doesn't like being here, but she likes it, and she likes that I've learned like how to sew and whatnot. My dad hates it.
Out your inner weeb. I need you to give me your best in a Japanese accent. Merry Christmas! All right.
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas!
I'll talk at you later.
Talk to you later.
I'll talk at you later, right?
I'll talk at you later.
Talk at you later.
I'll talk at you later. Merry Christmas.
Bunch of racists.
I'll have a blue Christmas without you. I'll be so blue thinking about you.